It's November the 28th, 2001. The house of one of its oldest residents has burned to the ground, shocking the quiet rural city of Chester in South Carolina. Firefighters arrived at the scene of the event early that morning at 1:40 a.m. and put out the fire valiantly. When the flames finally went out, they thought the house was empty, but what they discovered shocked them to their very core. They discovered the bodies of Joe Pittman, age 66, and Joy Pittman, age 62. However, neither the smoke nor the fire was the cause of their deaths. This elderly couple had been murdered by gunfire before their home was set on fire. We will delve deeply into the unfortunate and unquestionably contentious case of Christopher Frank Pittman today. Christopher was a troublesome kid who frequently misbehaved in front of his family. He most likely behaved in a way that his mother's absence had an impact. After threatening to commit suicide on 2 separate occasions, he was detained at a state facility for 6 days. Doctors at the facility identified Christopher as having depression and gave him Paxil as a treatment. After his release, Christopher's parents moved him to live with his grandparents in Chester, South Carolina, but they didn't send his medicine with him. Christopher went to the doctor with his grandparents in order to receive a prescription for Paxil. However, instead of prescribing Paxil, the doctor offered samples of another antidepressant called Zoloft. Experts in medicine advise against switching from one antidepressant medication to another. At 12 years old, Christopher Pittman shot his grandparents, Joe and Joy Pittman, to death on April 9, 1989. Pittman asserted that supernatural forces played a role in his decision to kill his grandparents, which allegedly took place after physicians switched his psychiatric drugs. After Christopher moved into his grandparents' house, this took place. The negative effects of Christopher's Zoloft use started almost immediately. While he told his grandparents that he felt a burning sensation all over his body, his sister described him as being manic. The doctor increased Christopher's moderate 25 milligram dosage to 50 milligram per day after he complained about the side effects. Aggravated melancholy, strange nightmares, hallucinations, violent behavior, delusion, and paranoid reactions are some of the side effects of Zoloft in children. Zoloft overdoses might result in manic reactions. On November the 28th, 2 days following the increase in medication dosage, Christopher choked a classmate on the school bus as they were traveling to class. Christopher battled with a piano player that evening at church when he was still irate. Christopher was punished by his grandfather, who spanked him when he got home and locked him in his room for the rest of the evening. Christopher sneaked into his now dozing grandparents' bedroom after a number of hours had passed. Christopher squeezed the trigger on Joe while holding his grandfather's shotgun, which the latter had shown his grandson how to use. He then discharged the shotgun while aiming it at Joy. After stealing the dog and $33 from his grandfather's wallet, Christopher lit the house on fire with candles and paper before escaping in their car with the money and the dog. Soon after, police officers from 2 counties away caught up with Pittman and arrested him. Christopher told authorities that a black man broke into his grandparents' house, killed them, set the house on fire, and then abducted him. In a later complete confession, he admitted to the crime and told authorities that his grandparents deserved what they got. He was not at all remorseful with what he had done. He even told the authorities that he was not sorry and that he didn't regret his actions at all. 3 years later, at Christopher's trial, his attorneys contended that the preteen boy's behavior that day was caused by the change in antidepressants and the rapid dosage increase. At Christopher's trial, which took place 3 years after the incident in question, his attorneys argued that the preteen boy's behavior on that day was due to the change in antidepressants, as well as the rapid increase in his dosage. After being tried as an adult, Christopher was found guilty of murdering his victims. In February 2005, the judge gave him 30 years in prison. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this one. Thanks for watching.